Today on the Boot Guy, we are looking at the WACOUTA from REDWING Heritage in this beautiful copper color. All right, guys, so first off, how do you want me to do this? Should I go through it typical, talk about the sole, talk about the leather, talk about the laces and the eyelets, or do we just want to see what it looks like on first? Because I think that's really what's going to sell anybody on this boot, is just to see how it looks, because it's such a different boot. It's a moccasin style, so it's different from anything we're used to seeing from REDWING Heritage. So yeah, let's take a few minutes and let's just look at it, what it looks like on with a really nice dark pair of jeans, because that's the way I would wear it. And so let's just show it that way. So like I said, it's a damn good looking boot. So let's start off, let's talk about this thing, and let's bring up some simple facts like size and fit, and let's talk about how you should buy this and whether or not you shouldn't buy this if that's your deal, because there's a lot of guys who should not be wearing this boot. There's a lot of people out there who are REDWING Heritage collectors that probably aren't going to add this to their collection, but there are guys who out there who are moccasin collectors, and there are some high-end moccasins out there that they are definitely going to add a pair of these to their collection. So like always, let's start with this beautiful Vibram sole. So we are looking at the Vibram Mini Lug Sole, and this is in a color called Honey Wheat. Now the beautiful thing about a light colored Vibram sole as opposed to a black Vibram sole is they're a little bit more gummier than what we're used to with Vibram. Now Vibram has different formulas and different mixtures, but the Mini Lug, as far as casual boots go, when you see a upper attached to a sole like this, the one thing you can be sure of is that you're going to get traction, you're going to get durability, and you're going to get longevity out of this material. I've never seen a mini lug completely wear down to where it became slippery. Even as all these little lugs go away and this becomes a smooth surface, the material alone has such a great stopping power on smoother surfaces. So what I'm saying is, as you go through the years with this, and there's going to be years involved when you own a pair of these, as you go through those years, you can rest assured that this sole is going to hold up. And if by chance you wear it out in 5 years, you can send it back to REDWING. They'll put a new one on for you. So leather is always an important part of any boot, right? And this is the copper rough and tough leather from REDWING. It's beautiful. It's oil tanned. It's well treated. It has gone through the process that only REDWING can do to a beautiful leather hide. The way it feels out of the box, the amount of oil, the pure smell of it, it's wonderful. It just lofts up at you when you open up that box the first time. And it doesn't go away. As you start to wear these around and as you start to break these in, as you work that oil out of the hide up to the surface, you'll start to notice dark spots that are appearing. Those dark spots, you're going to want to buff those back in. You don't want to lose too much oil out of this. And that's going to bring us to a whole nother topic about this boot. Wax cotton. It is an animal unto itself. And taking care of wax cotton, the one thing you have to know, guys, is if you're one of those heritage wearing guys, if you're one of the guys that likes to keep his heritage boots looking fresh out of the box with almost no patina happening, that you're constantly buffing, you're constantly cleaning because you've invested the money into them, the wax cotton, forget about it, because what's going to happen is your jeans are going to stain it, you're going to spill coffee on it, you're going to get some mud in there, and it's going to get ground in, and that's what makes wax cotton so outstanding to guys who are moccasin wearers, guys who collect moccasins. Having wax cotton mixed in with their moccasin is what gives their moccasin that life that only a moccasin can have for a guy like that. So the wax cotton, if you're looking for a boot that's going to be extremely durable, I would say avoid the wax cotton. But if you're looking for the perfect summertime boot, there you go. I said it. I started the conversation. Yes, this is the perfect summertime boot. Take a look at it. So when you open the WACOUTA up, the one thing you're going to notice is that it is basically a basic boot inside. No fancy liners, no fancy stitching, no fancy nothing. Every part of this boot is pieced together for a purpose, and that purpose is to make a comfortable, lightweight, durable boot. And though you might see copies of the WACOUTA out there, you might see other brands that make boots that look like this. In a side-by-side comparison, the one thing you are going to notice is that REDWING Heritage, when it comes to making a boot, they do not screw around. They don't cut any corners. They don't look for a cheaper material supply or cheaper material chain in order to get more bang for their buck. They're putting their best people and their best foot forward when it comes to making a boot. So inside, leather, unlined, boot pull at the top, usually hate them. This one, because it's a summer boot and because it's a moccasin style, this is part of the whole aesthetic. So yeah, you might not like it at first. Your khakis might get caught up on this, your jeans might get caught up on this, but hey, give it a bit, let it soften up, let it fold down, it might fall out of the way. The heel cup on this thing, inside, what you'll notice is that it's a soft heel cup. Though it is reinforced through just the pure shape and engineering of the heel of the boot, there is no hard heel counter back there. It's soft. There is something, but it's not like we're used to seeing. It's not a big, thick piece of leather back there. So this thing is going to break in shape and fit like a pair of deck shoes would or a pair of boat shoes would. And that's where moccasins really come into play. This is for guys that are out there doing that type of stuff. Internally, when you look down, you get a hard footboard. It is a fiber board. And on top of that fiber board, on top of that hard surface, you find this. Yeah. You find this Comfort Force insole. For you guys that don't know, for you guys that are new to Red Wing, Comfort Force has been part of the Red Wing line now for almost 20 years. It's their super comfortable insole. This is a work insole that they've added to a heritage boot, and this is a nice touch because the one thing about these is that that hard footboard and that thin sole, for most people who are just starting out wearing boots, this is going to be really uncomfortable. This is going to help them with the break-in period and just getting them to the point that they can actually wear this thing every single day. So Comfort Force, yeah, I like seeing this. Laces and eyelids, it's heritage, so basic brass eyelids, nothing to write home about. Laces, Tazlon. I like Tazlon. This is not the best Tazlon. This is really kind of a cheaper Tazlon lace in my opinion. It's a thick, heavy lace, but it's just a cheaper material. It's not coated. Eyelids, as always, Red Wing Heritage eyelids are not my favorite eyelids. Now, I break that down because of some of the work boots that I've seen over the years and some of the eyelids and some of the advancements in this simple piece of hardware that has been around for over 150 years, if not more. The eyelid is, it's a press eyelid, so that means there's going to be sharp edges. Eventually you're going to start to wear this thing inside its leather cavity, and eventually it's going to create an edge that is going to break the lace. But you know, for the type of boot this is, if you're breaking a lace in the time period of 2 or 3 years, yeah, it's probably time to replace your laces anyway. Last, number 63 from Red Wing. You guys out there who are Red Wing Heritage aficionados, you guys know that 63 is a very narrow last, a very shallow last, and it's probably the perfect last to make a moccasin out of. So if you're new to Red Wing and you're new to the size and fit of what's going on in Heritage and you're making this boot your first introduction to Red Wing Heritage, something you're going to have to do is be aware of the socks you're going to wear with these boots and when you're going to wear these boots. You're not going to be buying these boots to wear them in the middle of winter. This is going to be a spring, summer, fall, and not fully into fall, like the warm months of September, fall, and then you put them away. You oil them up and you put them away till next year. That's when you're going to be wearing this thing. Because of how narrow this is, and because of how shallow this is, some of you guys that come from Iron Rangers and some of the mock toe work boots, you're going to put this thing on, you're going to feel like your foot's being crushed inside there. And it is. That's why 63 is such a great last, because you break and shape this boot to your foot. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes dedication, but once it happens, you're going to have a pair of moccasin boots that you're probably just going to be able to wear from season to season with and without socks. I say without socks, and I'm not encouraging anybody to wear their boots without socks, but this is definitely the kind of boot you can wear without a pair of socks because this is made correctly. All right, last but not least, let's go through a few quick details. Fully welted so you can resole this thing. I mentioned that early on in the beginning of the video. Size scale. I'm not too crazy about the size scale on this. They're only making this thing from 7 to 13, and they're only making half sizes. And they're only making half sizes from 7.5 to 11.5. So the size scale's not that big. And they're only making D width. So not a lot of people are going to get the use out of this thing. Not a lot of people are going to get to wear this because a lot of guys got big, fat, wide feet. So you're not going to be able to get your foot inside this D. But you guys out there who are really looking to own a pair of these, you might actually put up with a little bit of that tightness and a little bit of that pain just to get these on your foot. So if you had to care for these, if you had to rub any sort of oil or anything on here, take the laces out, oil every leather part. If you get some oil on the canvas, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to hurt the canvas at all. Now, right now, a lot of you guys are saying, please don't tell them to use mink oil. Guess what? I'm going to tell you to use mink oil. Actually, I'm going to tell you to use whatever oil you want. These are your boots. How you treat them and what you do to them, That's for you to decide. If you want the best advice on how to take care of a pair of Red Wing boots, go to a Red Wing shop or go to the Red Wing website. Because of heritage being such a big part of the company nowadays, they have really taken a lot of time in the preparation and the maintenance of a pair of heritage boots. And it's amazing to see. So check them out. So that's the WACOUTA, style number 3335 from Red Wing Heritage in this beautiful copper brown. Hey, if you're one of the lucky devils out there that owns a pair of the WACOUTAs, please comment below, let guys know what you think about it. If you happen to try a pair of these on at the Red Wing shop and you found them to be extremely tight and uncomfortable, also comment below. Let us know about your experience at the shop trying these on. Hey, if you want to see some detailed photos of the WACOUTA, swing by my Instagram page. Check out all the detailed photos I took of this boot inside the studio and outside and just kind of roaming around making this thing part of my life. This is the moment where I thank everybody for supporting the channel, for clicking the PayPal link at the bottom, right down there in the comments box. That PayPal link is where I thank you guys for supporting the channel by either buying me a beer or buying me a cup of coffee. I'm not really buying beer, well, I am buying beer, buying lots of it, but that's not what I'm using the money for. What I'm using the money for, well, I am using some of the money for, I keep going back, I'm double standard to this. I'm using the money to make the channel grow. At the same time, in order to make the channel grow, I need beer in order to think better. Imagine that. But thank you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for clicking the subscribe button. Thank you for everything you're doing, and plus the encouragement. You guys out there who encourage me to create better videos, you guys out there who tell me about new boots that are on the market that I could be missing because I'm so involved in doing other things, thank you so much. If you're about to pick up a pair of these WACOUTAs and you've got a few questions about size and fit and you're not getting the answers anywhere else, feel free to send me a direct message on Instagram. I'll try to answer those questions as quickly as possible. If I miss your question, please do not be offended. I am a busy person and there are a lot of boots that need to be reviewed. It isn't like I'm sitting around just waiting for something to happen. I actually do a lot of stuff. So give me a few days to get back to you. I will get back to you, all right? Thank you. And with all that being said, that's it, we're done. This has been the review of the WACOUTA. I'm the boot guy. Thanks a lot for watching.